Dateline Albert Park, at last we are ready, and at last the new dawn has finally arrived. T2 gave us a great spectacle, but now the attention turns to the names that we all know, and the names that have proved themselves in this league over and over again. 15 races to come, starting here in Australia and ending in Belgium come October, so sit back, buckle up, and enjoy the ride. Live from Albert Park, Melbourne, Australia, this is round 1 of 15 in Season 5 of Next Gen by JL. Time for the talking to stop, and it is time to go racing. Good evening to you. I'm Mr. Storm, joined by my broadcast partner and very good friend this evening, by Tim. Tim, the waiting's over. We had a decent enough T2 race. Now the experienced veterans are here. What on earth are we going to see this season?
I guess a lot of exciting fights, especially now we have less, basically, backmarkers, more people who can actually win it.
Well, it was certainly an interesting off-season. There were a lot of driver changes, there were a lot of ructions all throughout the grid. And we are certainly in for a fantastic race tonight. We have a lot to dissect in the next 13 minutes or so before qualifying starts. But first, let's meet the drivers. And of course, we are going to start off with Chevrolet, the reigning and defending Constructors Champion Chevrolet Race Engineering, stuck with 50% of their winning formula from last season. Season 2 champion Valtteri Bottas knows new teammate Dean well, as they sparred before in TRL. JL Interpol Europol competition entered their 5th season of racing, and they've changed one driver in their lineup too. Lewa goes down to T2, and he's replaced by Chevrolet title winner Marcel, joining Season 4 title contender Oscar. There was a lot of drama surrounding the Ducati F1 team at the end of Season 4 and their imminent takeover. The team is now owned by Ryu Zappu, and a name change to Pemex is the outcome. The two drivers have changed too, Income, Vic and Balbo. RUF Telecom F1 team arguably one of the strongest teams in the grid at the present moment, with rookie of Season 4 Nikon joined by the reigning and defending two-time next-gen champion Yasko. Ryan impressed in the late stages of Season 4 for Abarth, securing 5th place for them on the final day. He's back, and joining him is the Season 1 champion AFY. The PHM name is no more, rebranded to Abo JM Motorsports. They're still led by Cargo Boom, but at the start of the season they've only got a singular driver. LFC Monks is the sole racer for them, and hopefully he'll be able to deliver the goods.
LFC Monks
AFY
is
Evian
driving
is...
for DHL though, isn't he?
Huh?
Yeah, Monks is
Is he?
driving for DHL though, isn't
No,
he?
he's not. No, he's not.
Is he?
Hmm?
Yes, he is.
What? I don't know.
Yes, he is. I
That's-
just looked it up. He actually is.
I swear to God he was racing for them. Anyway, back to where we were. AFY Evian is now Citroen Evian Motorsport. They've assembled a new lineup too, as we welcome Sudsy Marmot and the original league owner Nexo to the fray. Yes, another team has changed, as Ultratech become Optus Geneta Racing. Zomzed is their only driver at the time of the first race. Will last season's FIA member of the championship make ructions in the racing? Toms were put up for sale, and the Phoenix rising out of the ashes of the DHL Audi F1 team. As this broadcast, apparently they've got Monks as their driver for their sake, and for our sake, hopefully that's true. And finally, Yusk finished bottom of the standings in Season 4, but they surely won't this time, as they've got a brilliant two-driver lineup of Artem Lizov and Oxograph. The team is, interesting enough, ran by the latter driver. And let's meet the drivers for Season 5. It's a very diverse lineup. There have been a lot of changes throughout the off-season, Tim. Who do you think is probably the favourite for the title, though?
Honestly, I think it might be just the reigning champion. I mean, he's a double champion already, so...
Mm. Do you think Yaska's going to take home the title, then?
I think he's a driver who's certainly capable of doing so, that's for sure.
Do you think that they'll win the Constructors' Championship as well? Because arguably Chevrolet probably have the best lineup in terms of Bottas and Dean, who are just lightning quick.
I think Chevrolet have got a constructor winning championship lineup, but we don't have to forget RUF Telecom, of course, a driver who finished high as well last season. Don't know from the top of my head where exactly, and we know of course the champion of last season, and the driver who finished in 3rd last season. So statistically, based on last season, it would be going to RUF if the last season standings would be these seats and so on.
Yeah, well, they're obviously not, but still, we've got 10 drivers down to race tonight's race. Yasko, Sudsy Marmot, Nikon, AFI, Bottas, Oscar, Dean, Razat, Ryan, and Ryu Zappu. The only tentative driver at the moment is Camo, who I believe might be racing in the place of Marcel. who has joined Europol in the place of Litwa, who went down to T2. He finished third in the T2 race earlier on this evening. So a lot of stuff to go through. And of course, it's been quite a while since we were last here at Albert Park. It's actually been so long I wasn't even commentating the league. It's been 2 seasons since we last raced here in Albert Park. We were here in the opening race of Season 2. It was the third race in Season 1, the first race of Season 2, now the first race of Season 5. And only 5 drivers on the current grid have actually raced around the track. That's interesting in itself, Tim, because they are Zomzed, Bottas, Marcel, Oxengrav and Vic. A lot of experienced names, but the rest of the grid now have to adapt to what has been traditionally a very chaotic race.
Yeah.
I'm just looking through the notes here, and I've got both the Season 1 and 2 results down. Zomzed actually won both races. Zomzed won for Honda. In Season number 1, Litwa finished second. Runnard was third. The podium in Season 2, Zomzed, Bottas and Marcel. And of course, Bottas was racing for AKK then. Marcel was at Volkswagen. There have been a lot of driver changes, of course, throughout the 5 seasons. Do you think, though, that this season we've got the strongest grid in the history of the league?
You can certainly say so. I would say so at least. So.
That's good. I suppose if you agree, then that's good anyway.
Yeah.
Well, we have just got about 10 minutes or so until the start of the session. Hopefully the invites will be sent out. I don't have everyone, so Tim, that's up to you, Tim, as well.
Yeah, fair.
Well, Yasko's here anyway.
That's something.
Yeah, it is. It'd be good if the reigning champion actually defended the title in the first race, you know?
Yeah, fair. It would probably be good, yeah. But I mean, honestly, it would be good to see Chevrolet win their home race as well.
It would be, yeah. Of course, Jeebus is the team owner and has done so much for Chevrolet across the years. Litwa is actually going to deputise for Marcel tonight instead of instead of Marcel racing for the team. So Litwa will be racing for Europol in T1. He was with his own team JL in T2 earlier. We will run through the standings of that race if you weren't here for the first race of the evening. It was a fun one, it was a dramatic one, and Klimek won it by 4 seconds and 4 and a bit seconds from Camo in second in the Toyota. Litwa finished in third. Razout and Rally Ralph rounded out the field, only 5 drivers in T2. Obviously, half points will be given out. It was a fun race, Tim, but we're surely going to go above and beyond in T1.
Yeah.
I've got some interesting stats up about the last 5 results for all the drivers, and of course Yasko is definitely the most consistent. Last 5 races, second, first, fifth and third. Last 5 qualifying results, second, third and first. You definitely think he's the favourite tonight, but there are some other fantastic drivers in there. You've got Bottas, you've got Nikon, Oscar might be able to spring a surprise. We know Oscar's been fantastic on this game. Oscar's very fast, as well as Dean, who's obviously new here. We might be in for a 4 or a 5-way fight for pole, and even more interesting, a 4 or 5-way fight for the victory, which I think is even better.
Yeah, fair.
Well, of course, during the duration of the evening, we will also have live score updates from the game in the European Championships between the Netherlands and France. Currently, after 23 minutes and 22 seconds, it's the Netherlands 0, France 0. Tim will be hoping for the Dutch getting a win tonight. Ryu Zapu's here. Of course, he owns the Pemex team. He's actually a reserve for Pemex this season as well.
Yeah.
So we'll see what he's able to do. That's a very interesting story as well, because he is also very quick. So a lot of the drivers have a decent chance of winning tonight, and that, despite the low attendance, is something.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably one of the upset. The downside of both tiers is, of course, that right now, especially just early on, is a bit of struggling getting a lot of people driving. But there's also a positive in having a very competitive grid.
Absolutely, yeah. And of course, with the amount of title contenders we had last season and the amount of Constructors' Championship teams that were in it come the final day, of course, Inter, Europol, Chevrolet, Ducati, and RUF Telecom, of course, Ducati now Pemex, for anyone who's interested in that. I'm actually going to talk about the team changes now because there have been a few. There have been a lot of changes, to be fair. AFI Even have rebranded to Citroen Even Motorsports as AG77 has taken over the team. Toms have rebranded to DHL Audi, of course, after Liberty had a very poor performance as the team owner. That team was put up for sale. Nitro Ninja's taken over that outfit. RUF T-Mobile have undergone a small rebrand to RUF Telecom F1 team. Ultratech have rebranded to Optus Genetta Racing. Flying Penguin has taken the full control of the team now. He was sort of in a caretaker role at the end of last season. He now is in control there. Ducati have rebranded to Pemex, as we've mentioned, as we also mentioned. Ryu's taken over. Yaz Heat have been completely dissolved, so Yaz Heat will not be making an appearance in T1. Maybe they'll be revived in T2, you never know. And of course, PHM AIX have rebranded to Able JM Motorsports. There have been more so a lot of rebrands. Why do you think that happens, though, Tim?
I think new era, I guess. But
Fair enough.
new era,
But
new owners.
if you do take a look at the winners though in this race, I mean Zomzed won for Honda, which are now Optus Genetta, and then in season 2 he won for you, Tim. He won the Abarth, so
Yeah,
you've got good
there
memories
was
around
a
this
good
track.
win there, but
Yeah, you've got good memories about this track, and you love this track as well. So happy hunting round.
yeah, certainly. Although we only it stands only have one driver in the team, sadly.
What can you do?
One driver driving tonight, so. But oh well.
Yeah. Well, here is all the information about the track you need to know. 5.278 kilometers in length, 14 corners. The corner names: Turn 1, Brabham; Turn 2, Jones; Turn 5 is the odd one out, is Whiteford; Turn 9, Clark; Turn 13 is Sky; Turn 14, Stewart; and Turn 15 is Pross. If you take a look at the pole lap record, that's a woman at 18.318 set by Bottas in Season 2. We smashed that in T2 qualifying, and I'm just going to recite that live time out for you. We smashed that with a woman at 17.667. The race lap record is a woman at 20.114. That was also smashed in the T2 race. It's now a woman at 18.903. But the T1 records will be blown out of the water, probably by the first driver to cross the line in qualifying, and that says a lot about how the progression of the game goes as well.
Yeah.
Of course, a lot of famous names have gotten pole position. We'll go into the details of who has secured pole position in the past and by what margin, and the pole to win conversion and the average gap and all that fun stuff. But we are only a few minutes away from the first qualifying session of the season. Not everyone is in the lobby, but we are going to take a little break, and we will be back for the first qualifying session of the new season. You're watching Next Gen by JL, Race 1 of 15 in Season 5. The Australian Grand Prix qualifying is coming up very shortly. Here we go, folks. The first qualifying session of the new season. After a dramatic season 4, we're ready to go again with the first race of 15 in season 5. Who will etch their name into folklore? Will Yasko get a third title? Will we see someone else come to the fore? The time for talking is over. The time for racing has begun. It is round 1 of 15 of season 5 of Next Gen by JL, and it is the opening qualifying session of the T1 season. I'm Mr. Storm, joined in the commentary box this evening, as always, by Tim. And here we go, my friend. First qualifying session. Clear skies in Melbourne. Isn't this fun?
It surely is.
Right, well, we're going to get the qualifying stats up here. Of course, there have been some brilliant pole laps around the Albert Park circuit. We will be taking a in-depth look at them later. Someone has disconnected. I believe we started with 10. We've now got 9. Hopefully someone will join in before the end. The pole lap record is 1 minute 18.318 in T1 anyway. Keep an eye on that because that'll probably be shattered early on. We have Chevrolet. We've got Pemexes. We've got Litwa. I'm not saying like Litwa's got a team. He does in T2. We have got all sorts of quirky and wonderful characters and teams. And the time for judgment has begun. The realization. We have movement in the pit lane. And the first driver that will be coming out on track to start off the qualifying season is Ryu Zappu in the Pemex car. It's a very unique livery, Tim. It's sort of a homage to the Mexican flag. It's sort of not, but it's a nice looking car.
Oh, the Pemex, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, it reminds me of like a pizza.
Yeah, I can say that. Yeah, now that you said that, I can definitely say that.
It's a pizza truck.
Well, Ryu owns the team. Ryu is deputizing for both Vic and Bulbo, to be honest, tonight. Of course, he himself is reserved for his own team. He's not racing for his outfit, but he is reserving for it, so we'll see what he is able to do. Also coming out onto the track now is Bottas in the Chevrolet. Of course, Chevrolet, the reigning and defending Constructors champions. And it's a very nice car. I think it's definitely an upgrade from last season.
Certainly is. Also, between the lines, can you invite Dean? He needs an invite.
I will, yeah. Yeah, I will invite Dean, yeah, no problem. A lot of lovely cars on the grid. Oscar has also come out in the Europol. I have to say, the Europol is looking very cool as well. There are a lot of very good looking cars on the field this season. Dean's disconnected again, so Dean is obviously having connection issues tonight. I'll try and invite him and see what happens. But our first driver to come out onto the track and start the season off, and will probably end up smashing the qualifying lap record, is the one and only Ryu Zappu. Here he comes up to the line to start his qualifying run in his Pemex car, the team that he owns. Flicks it into the right and left of turns 1 and 2. A brilliant run for the opening couple of corners. Activates the DRSC heads down the second straight off the lap down towards turn 3. He goes 8th gear, rising to 310 kilometers an hour. Dropping down to 3rd and just 110 kilometers an hour into the left of turn 4, and then into the slightly abnormal name of Whitehall of turn 5. At the first sector split, the Mexican Meister has set a 26.179 into the fast 6, 7 and 8 complex, and it is very, very good from the Season 2 Turbo Racing League champion, and a driver who really impressed in his couple of races last season. Activates the DRSC, hurtles down the long back straight. Coming up towards that middle sector split, the Pemex driver sets a 43.706 flat out through the left, small lift through the right, activates the DRS once more. This has been a brilliant lap for him. Nikon's gone very slowly there to let him pass. Into the 90-degree right-hander he comes, and then into the last couple of corners, starting with Fangio, and then into Prost, the penultimate corner, dropping it down to 3rd gear and 100 kilometers an hour, then flicking it to the right for the final corner. What is this lap time going to be for Ryu Zappu, the Mexican maestro, in his Pemex car? It's going to be a 1 minute 15.479. The track record has been absolutely obliterated. Next up to the line is Nikon, who's starting his flying run, Tim.
Yeah, could be.
Well, Oscar's coming up to the line next. Of course, Oscar has shown some absolutely incredible pace in the early ages of this game. Will it be enough to go to the top of the timesheet? No, it's not. He's 4/10 off his former TRL teammate, I should say. Up to the line next is the Season 1 champion AFI. He slots into 3rd, 1 minute 16.645. Sudsy Marmot is in an Alpine Esports liveried car, and I'm not sure he's got the memo there. What's gone on there, do you think, Tim? Because he's obviously not got the memo of what he's supposed to be driving, and he is in the Alpine Esports car, which is obviously going to get him penalised. Anyway, Bottas is hurtling down the back straight. We'll see what he's able to do at the middle sector split. That's a 43.822. Flicks it to the left and then into the right using all the road possible. Activates the DRS once again as he comes down towards the 90-degree right-hand corner. That, of course, is so tricky to get right, but so rewarding if you do get it right. Little kick of oversteer coming into it and indeed coming out of it, but Bottas is holding on to the car well. Next to the line is Nikon in the Telecom, the RUF Telecom car. He fought for the championship for a little stage last season, only fourth, slower than AFY, but here comes Bottas up to the line. What will it be for the Season 2 champion in the Chevrolet? Gets very close to the top of the timesheets, 3/10 off. Sudsy Marmot will be next to cross the line. Razzout, Yasko and Litwell and outlaps.
Storm, can you just for formalities check the settings of the minimum license level? Because as it seems, Dean can't join due to the license level being too low.
It's on C. It definitely is on C. And I don't think I can check that. It's not showing. It's definitely on C, though. I didn't change that. Well, Sudsy Marmot comes up towards the line, goes into 6th. Razzout, Yasko, and Litwa coming up towards the line. Tim, if you're free, take us through Litwa's lap.
And let's see what he can do. The driver earlier, of course, he got a P3 in the race here. As we'll just got in, we'll have a lobby restart. So if you're hearing this, leave the lobby.
Yeah.
We'll make a new one.
Yeah.
Well, Storm will.
Yeah. I'll set it up, or? Lobby restart. We'll be back in a few minutes. And we're back again. Technical issues, we're not sure on whose side, but the game doesn't like us. New game, same issues. Anyway, second attempt at qualifying. Hopefully all 10 drivers are going to be attempting to set the fastest lap they can. Mr. Thornton still in the commentary box, as you would expect. Hopefully a little less controversy early on.
Yeah, let's see what happened here.
Who's going to get pole, I think is the big question, though.
Yeah, that is the big question.
Who do you think is going to get pole?
Why is this all of this voice over is talking about the 1994 Australian Grand Prix.
What was that?
The speaker, or in the in-game speaker, like that's talking to the fake people there, right?
Oh, yeah.
It was talking about the 1994 Australian Grand Prix.
Which wasn't even at Albert Park, it was at Adelaide. The
I
winner,
know,
of course,
why
was
is
Nigel
it
Mansell.
Yeah, he told me that as well, but why?
No reason. Anyway, drivers coming out on track. The first driver this time to come out on track is Razos in the Optus Ginetta car. Now, a lot of things have happened in the off-season. New drivers, new faces, new teams, I suppose, in terms of rebrands. But Optus Ginetta have got a great chance to do a lot of things this season, Tim.
Yeah, certainly,
And of course, he was racing in T2 earlier on, so he has got a decent bit of knowledge of the track. He has done about 23 laps so far this evening. In race 20 laps in race trim and about 3 qualifying runs. We'll see what he's able to do. Following him also out on the track is Ryu Zappu and the Season 2 champion Valtteri Bottas. His teammate Dean has not left the garage yet. He was, of course, one of the main reasons we had to stop the first session due to just EA issues. Yasko, Nikon and Oscar are also out as well. The same lineup that Europol had last season are back. Lit was not even supposed to be racing, he's just reserving tonight because Marcel cannot make the race. Yasko, of course, defending his title, moved from the Pemex team, which was Ducati, now to RUF Telecom F1 team, which was RUF T-Mobile last season. His teammates also on the track. Season 1 champion AFY still in the pits, but apart from that, we are ready to go qualifying. And Raz out in the Optus Ginetta car will be the first driver to get the session underway. Pole lap record 1 minute 18.318 set in Season 2 by the Season 2 champion Bottas. Here comes Razak up to the line, starts his qualifying run. We'll flick it right for turn 1, then we'll flick it left for turn 2. Solid enough run for the first couple of corners as he hurtles and flings his way down the second straight of the lap, down towards turn number 3. He goes down into second gear, 110 kilometers an hour, and then we'll go into the next left-hander. Then into the slightly odd turn 5 of Whitehall. It's a kink after a very strange name as well. First sector split, Raza, it's at a 26.767 through 6, then 7, and then the long right-hander of turn 8. There used to be a chicane here back in the day, just up about here. Plenty of dramatic moments, that former chicane. Plenty of dramatic moments coming down this long straight as well, up towards the fast chicane. Middle sector split, 44.423. He really struggled in T2 earlier on, Tim, but he's really in his own now in the T1 car.
Yeah.
It's good to see as well. I'm not sure who that was. That's Sudsy Marmot, yeah. Sudsy Marmot is going to get an immediate penalty for not even applying the right livery. I'm not sure what's going on there.
I mean, he'll likely get his first warning, but...
Yeah. We'll see what happens there. Anyway, Razak coming up towards the line, into the left and then into the right-hander final corner. What is it going to be for the man who finished 4th in the T2 race earlier this evening? It's a woman at 17.575. Interesting enough, Bottas invalidated his first one, so Ryu Zappu's up to the line next. What will the Mexican Maestro be able to do? The pole lap time's already been shattered. Ryu Zappu's at a 1 minute 15.714. Here comes Bottas. Take us through his lap, Tim.
Bottas that shoots in one I haven't got a clue about a single corner name here, so that's gonna be fun.
Nikon just goes into second, and of course here comes the reigning champion Yasko. Before we hand over to Tim again, Yasko goes to the top of the timesheets with a 1 minute 15.556. Hell of a lap, Tim. Back to you.
Yeah.
And then he crashes, and he's out. Yasko's out of the session. Yasko has crashed at turn 2 and is out of the qualifying session, and that's a shock.
That's a massive shock, and no one expected that.
No! Wow. Back to you, Tim, with Bottas's lap.
Yeah, well, Bottas has been solid so far this lap. Although he's almost out of battery already, he's just entering the last sector there.
Yeah, that's of course one of the things we discussed during the T2 show. Obviously, what's battery going to be like? Of course, with the long race, and of course in qualifying as well, to be very strategic to see how people get on. Big moment for Bottas there. Through Ascari, then down in towards Prost. He set the old qualifying lap record, which has now been shattered by Jasko, who just retired a few moments ago. But what will it be for the Season 2 champion, Valtteri Bottas? Only third, but it's a good lap. His teammate Dean is also on a flying run, and I'll take you through it coming through Whitehall, turn number 5. The Season 1 Turbo Racing League World Champion sets a 26.709 in this first sector, through 6, 7, and then flinging it into 8. Down into turn 9, of course, named after the two-time world champion, Jim Clark. Middle sector split is coming up now. What will he be able to set? 44.213. It's not the quickest lap from him, and he doesn't validate his lap as AFY and Litwa are on outlaps. Dramatic start to the session, though.
Yeah, certainly. As Litwa will be the next one to put down on there.
So Jasko retires after crashing out. Slightly embarrassing for the reigning and defending two-time world champion. But goodness knows what is going through his head. His only reaction, oh damn. I think that says a lot. Isn't this fun? Anyway, Sudsy Marmot is, I believe, coming and starting a flying lap. But we're not going to focus on him, we are going to focus on Litwa instead. Litwa raced in T2 earlier, finished in third position. Take us through his lap, Tim.
And let's see what he can do. As he goes across the start line, in this case. It's also the finish line, but oh well. It isn't Formula E.
No.
Let's see what he can do, of course. Now a couple of important corners. These corners are crucial to put in a good lap.
And he's really struggling as well.
Yeah.
Just like in the T2 qualifying session as well, he's depleting the battery loss. What do you think that his main objective will be tonight for Litwa? Score decent points, or? I'm going to assume that's a yes anyway. Litwa flicking it from left to right, activating the DRS. He comes down the back straight. I believe that's Ryu Zappa, who's just gone in front, behind him. Yeah, it is. Ryu will be going again in a few moments' time. Coming up to the line as well is Oscar, who's of course lightning quick as well. Also on a flying run is Sudsy Marmot, who has now pissed, despite being on an improvement on his lap. Take us through the end of Litwa's run, though.
Yeah, Litwa's just entered the last corner onto the main straight here. Let's see what he can do.
It's a solid enough lap. Fifth place.
Enough, yeah. And Oscar next, he goes into the first sector. It's a 26-2 for him.
Well, let's see what Oscar can do as he hurtles himself down the back straight. He's already gone past Clark, now into the fast left-right chicane complex, middle sector split, 43.697. What a line through the first part of that. Did you see the big balls, as James Hunt would say? Did you see the risk he took through there, though, Tim? If you were riding on board of him, you'd certainly appreciate it. Oscar using all of the road. His qualifying pace certainly wasn't the best back in Season 4. If you do take a look, not the best. 7th, 1st, 3rd, 5th and 2nd in the last 5 races. His race pace hasn't been the best either, but up to the line he comes. Will it be provisional pole position? It is 2nd. Very close to Jasko's time. Ryu has backed out of his own lap. Coming up to the line next, or starting lap I should say, is the Season 1 Turbo Racing League World Champion and new Chevrolet driver Deancon91. He's gone very wide there at turn 4.
He will have to compensate for that somewhere else down the lap.
Well, of course, his first lap time was invalidated, and he's looking for a big improvement as well. It will be very difficult to beat his teammate, who set a fantastic lap time. Nikon has gone down the escape road at turn 12. I'm not sure what's caused that, but Nikon has gone and done a U-turn down at the escape route. Back to Dean's lap, middle sector 44.171, so it's obviously not the quickest time. He is, of course, repping the 5, and if you're a NASCAR fan, of course, the 5 was used previously by Kyle Busch a long, long time ago. Tim and I are avid NASCAR fans, so we get that reference. Anyway, into the penultimate corner comes Dean. What is he going to be able to do on his first outfit, his first race for Chevrolet Race Engineering up to the line? Here he comes, 5th position, behind his teammate, but a long way behind his teammate.
Yeah, the position is not too bad, but how far he is off, that is.
Well, we'll see what he's able to do in the race. Razout now coming up towards the line, the opposite Genetic car. Of course, he finished 4th in the T2 race earlier, spotting the last lap, trying to get the fast lap attempt, almost a carbon copy of what happened there. He is hurtling his way to the line and will not improve. Ryu Zappa is on a flying run, has invalidated it once again.
We've got Charlie on a lap as well.
We do, yeah.
It's a 26-4 in the first second.
Yeah. Let's see what the Season 1 champion's able to do. Take us through it, Tim.
They just took the 26-4. It was quite a decent bit off, I'd say, in the first sector.
Well, he finished 4th in the first ever race held around this track back in Season 1. A very, very 0.493 seconds behind his Honda teammate, Zom Zed, of course. A lot of changes in this league since. Let's take a look at some of the qualifying history around this track, and there's plenty of it, to be fair. So many fantastic pole sitters throughout the years. We'll come back to that in just a second, actually, because he is coming up to the final corner now. But here he comes up towards the line. I don't think he'll get too much of a slipstream from the Chevrolet in front of him. He does go 5th. A good lap. That's actually a very interesting lap for Charlie. You'd have to be happy with that. Yeah. Dean is coming. Dean's actually on another flying run. So take us through it, Tim.
Well, let's see what he can do then. I mean, he's not using his battery, is he?
No, but he's had a big
on the
long
grass already.
There.
Yeah. This lap's gonna be nothing much, is it?
Yeah. So we'll go back to the qualifying history. Then the average gap, interesting, throughout the last 20 qualifying sessions at this track is 3.5 tenths of a second. The pole to win conversion is not looking very good for whoever finishes on pole position, though, because it's only 45%. 9 out of the last 20 drivers have won the Australian Grand Prix from pole position. And we do have some interesting stats related to that. The race winners by position, 16 of the many races held in Australia, that's including Adelaide, have come from pole position. That's 16 wins, 42%. Would you like to take a guess of any of those drivers, Tim? Any of them? Because there are a lot of them. I'll list them all then. Gerhard Berger, Nigel Mansell, Damon Hill, Mika Hakkinen, Giancarlo Fisichella, Kimi Räikkönen, Jenson Button, Sebastian Vettel, Charles Leclerc, and Max Verstappen. The only 3 to have done it twice: Ayrton Senna, Michael Schumacher, and Lewis Hamilton from pole position. And there are an assortment of other drivers who have won the race from other positions. Second's won it 8 times, third has won it 5 times, fourth has won it 4 times. Dean is going again, though. He's the only driver who's actually setting a flying lap. As it stands, Ryu and Nikon are on out laps, 5 and a bit minutes to go in the session, but he flicks it from left and then to right as he heads through Whitehall off turn number 5. What's it going to be at the first sector split? Is it an improvement? No. It's 59 thousandths down, and he has run slightly wide through turn 6, which will, of course, compromise his run down the long back straight, using plenty of battery, though, Tim.
Yeah. Certainly, yeah.
Little sector split. He might be able to get a bit of help from Ryu as well. 92 thousandths down, using all the road through the first part of the chicane. Not going to pick up any tow from Ryu in the Pemex car. Nikon has just started a flying run. He's 62 thousandths up on his next run, actually, sorry. We'll take a look at his lap when we come to the end of Dean's in the Chevrolet. He does need to find 2 tenths to get in front of Season 1 champion AFY. He doesn't look like he's going to do that at the moment. Penultimate corner, then flick it into the pits. And that's unfortunate. But straight over to Nikon, Tim. Yeah.
Let's see what he can do. I did not spot how his current lap time is going.
Well, Nikon's qualifying pace is absolutely abysmal. 6th, 13th, 6th, 7th, and 6th in the last 5 races. His race pace has been fantastic, though. 1st, 3rd, 2nd, 2nd, and 7th. So he's been in the top 4. before the last 5 races. Baltic Roadster coming out of the final corner, but it should be enough to improve his time as he comes up to the line. The RUF Telecom car goes into 6th, which would be his best qualifying performance, or his joint best qualifying performance since the end of last season. Razat's coming out onto the track as well. Ryu Zapu is on a flying run though, and this might be a massive lap. He needs to find around a 10th and a half, but if anyone can do it, Ryu Zapu can do it.
Certainly.
He impressed in his last few races in Season 4, of course, racing for RUF T-Mobile as it was. Then 30 thousandths of a second up, purple middle sector, using all the road throughout the chicane, and they fly through there. They are using all sorts of absurd lines, and it really is a joy to watch, especially if you're watching in the onboard camera.
Yeah, that makes sense, to be honest.
It does. Well, here comes Ryu anyway, coming into Prost. And then into the final corner of the lap, turn number 16. We'll activate the DRS and we'll use the rest of his battery. Will it be enough for provisional pole position for the Mexican Maestro? Yes, it is! And really, was that a big of a shock? Not really. He goes to the top of the timesheets. Can anyone stop him? We'll find out.
Yes, we've got Simamot and Rezat currently on outlet.
Nikon's going to come in again, so Nikon's going to change tyres potentially and then come out again. He doesn't have much time to do that though, so we'll see if RUF Telecom are going to be quick coming out onto the track. Sudsi Marmot Razat, who's about to start the lap actually, so take us through that one, Tim.
Let's see what Rezat can do. I mean, he's driver who, just like Litva, he doesn't need to be incredibly quick, he just has to perform as best as he can. They're tier 2 drivers anyway, so they'll just happily take this chance. And just try it here. He's
a long way off.
He's not going to make anything of that, is he?
Well, Sudsy Marmot's on a flying run, and he's already used quite a lot of his battery, 40% now, and he is still depleting it. Now, he's not in a livery that you'd think would be usual to the league. It's actually full of plenty of sponsors because it's actually the Alpine Esports livery. He will get a warning for that. I'm not sure if he got the memo or not. But at the first sector split, is he improving? The answer is yes, by 1 and a bit tenths, so that's enough for him to remain in 8th. He needs to find another bit of time to get in front of Dean. Yellow flag because Razat has very slowly, allowing Dean to get past. Final runs about to start. They're coming up to the line. First, though, is Litwa in the Europol car, back where he belongs, essentially. What is he able to do? Flicks it from right to left. And of course, as you said, Tim, he doesn't need to be quick. He just needs to be consistent. He had a small moment coming out of that opening chicane. Sudsy Marmot is still improving, but not improving enough. Dean is also on a flying run as well. The main contenders about to start their final flying runs. Oscar coming up to the line as well. Will Oscar be able to get something? Ryu's probably going to go again. I don't actually know. Ryu won't make it to the line, I don't think. It'll be very close to see if he does. Maybe he'll just hotline the chicane in order to get to the line. He won't, okay. So Ryu has probably blown his chance of going again. Litwa is improved. Sudsy Marmot improved as well, only 10 thousandths off Dean. Dean is 2.5 tenths up as well. So everything is now starting to get very dramatic as Oscar is 1.5 tenths up. Oh, but he's invalidated his lap. So Oscar won't get pole. Oh, wow, that is good for him.
Nikon starts his lap now. As who is the next one to complete it then?
Litwa will be coming up next.
Ryu won't make it.
No, he won't.
Yeah, that's what I said. He won't make it.
Oh, I thought you said he will. All right, sorry.
Litwa to be the next one to cross the line at 3 tenths up.
Litwa's got a big improvement on his hands here and goes into 6th. What a lap from Litwa. That's very good from him. Coming up to the line next is Dean, who's also found a bit of time. It probably isn't enough to shake anyone at the top, but it might be enough to get into the top 5. What can he do in the Chevrolet? It is 4th. It's a brilliant lap from him. Of course, Oscar invalidated his lap, so it's all down to Nikon, who's invalidated his lap as well. Sudsy Marmot will not go again. So the first pole position of the season and the first point of the T1 season goes to the Mexican Maestro, Ryu Zapu, who starts at the front of the front row alongside the reigning champion, Jasko Kirill. What a qualifying, Tim.
What a qualifying indeed. And honestly, I love to see it.
You do, yeah. I mean, there's obviously a lot of drama in that qualifying session. You'd like to think Yasko would have gone on and got pole position had he not crashed. But he is on the front row still, so that's good. But you'd like to think it's a wasted opportunity for Oscar too.
Yeah, certainly.
The qualifying done, qualifying dusted. Hell of a start to the season. Here is your qualifying order. Well, certainly a dramatic 18 minutes to start off the season, and Ryu Zappu gets it by 45 thousandths of a second from the two-time champion Jasko Kirill. Oscar and Dean are on the second row. Dean actually outqualifies his teammate Bottas in fifth. The Season 1 champion AFY is 6th, Litwa 7th with Nikon 8th, Sudzi Marmot and Razout round out the grid. Top 9 separated by 8 and a bit tenths of a second. Razout at the very back. The first race of Season 5 is coming up next. Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is the moment that you have all been waiting for the last 3 weeks. Finally, we are back. Finally, we are ready to go racing. The opening round of 15, would you believe it or not, across the next 3 3/4 months. Here we go, folks. Round 1 of 15 of Season 5 of Next Gen by JL. The championship winner gets $40 in prize money, so still a lot to play for. I'm Mr. Storm, joined in the commentary box by the co-owner and very, very good friend of mine, and fantastic commentator, I have to say as well, the wonderful Tim. Here we go, my friend. Dramatic qualifying session, hopefully dramatic race in store.
That would be great to see.
Well, it's been a while since we were last in Australia in this league. Of course, 5 drivers have only contested this race, not even Yasko's been here. But Bottas, Marcel, Zomzet, Oxgrav and Vic have the most experience out of those 5, though. Bottas is the only one on the grid tonight, so Bottas will be picking up his 3rd cap around the Australian Grand Prix circuit. He's never won this race, though. He finished in 2nd position in Season 2, just 3 seconds behind the eventual winner Zomzet in the Abarth, of course, Tim's team. Hopefully Abarth will be putting together a good performance for you tonight. Of course, recent race form, Yasko, of course, has been brilliant. 2nd, 1st, 5th, and 3rd. The only race he didn't finish on the podium last season was in Vegas. He ended up winning the championship. Bottas, DNF 1st, DNF 1st, 2nd, so Bottas hasn't been too bad either. Nikon, brilliant as well. 1st, 3rd, 2nd, 2nd, 7th. Oscar, a long way off. 5th, 8th, 3rd, 8th, and 5th. He starts 3rd. This is going to be fun. Formation lap to come. Let's see what tyres that the grid are starting on for this opening race of the season. And it is mixed. You'd like to think... Well, it's not really mixed. I don't know why I said that, because only 1 driver's on the hards, the other 9 are on the medium. Ryu, Yasko, Dean, Bottas, AFI, Litwa, Nikon, Sudzi Marmot, and Razout are all on the mediums. Oscar, the only driver opting for the hard compound tyre. That's interesting in itself, Tim.
Certainly interesting to see.
Well, I suppose the tension's now building. It's 29 laps, of course, between now and crowning a victor, as Oscar has spun on the formation lap.
That sounds like really long. I thought the problem was fixed, but somehow my internet provider just was like, hold up.
Not fun.
Can you invite me?
I did.
I've not got an invite, so...
Ah, okay, fair enough. So here's your grid. If you did miss qualifying, if you did, where on earth were you? Ryu and Yasko on the front row. Maybe a new rivalry about to become reality, I suppose. Tim's back. Oscar
I'm
and
not
Dean
back,
in the second row. Well, I mean, you've joined the lobby.
Yeah, but I've
That's what
not
says
joined
nice
the
anyway.
lobby, you know what I mean?
Fair enough, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. Bottas and AFY, 2 world champions on the 3rd row. Litwa and Nikon on the 4th row. Sudzi Marmot and Razout are at the back of the grid. The first race of 15, the longest ever Next Gen by JL calendar. And it is fronted by Ryu Zappu, the Mexican maestro, racing for his own team of Pemex. The two-time reigning defending undisputed champion Yasko is second. Oscar is third in the Europol. The new boy Dean fourth in the Chevrolet. His teammate fifth. Season 1's champion is in sixth. Bottas has been disqualified and has been sent back. Lit was seventh. Nikon's eighth. Sudsy Marmot's ninth. And Razard is 10th. Are you ready, Tim?
The camera angles aren't, but I am.
Well, here we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 red lights for the race of season 5. We are underway in Australia. It's a great start from Ryu. It's a good start from Yasko as well. Dean has already gone past Oscar at the start, but the Mexican Maestro will have the whole shot coming down in towards turn 1. The perfect start for the man in the Pemex. Not too much chaos coming for the first couple of corners. Yasko's in second. Sudsy Marmot drops down to 10th. He's been involved in a little bit of a collision, but currently Ryu leads from Yasko in second. Dean in third. His teammate Bottas fourth. AFY in 5th, Oscar and Lit was 6th and 7th in the Europol, Razard 8th, Nikon down to 9th, and Sudsy Marmot in 10th. But the perfect start for the pole sitter, Tim.
It certainly is. As let's see what they can do now. The first lap is where you can gain the most, and the first couple of laps, I have to say, or lose the most. Like, look how much Charlie is already more than a second behind, and Oscar under attack by Oscar.
Absolutely. We'll see if Oscar's able to get that move for P5, but the main battle, I suppose, at the moment is the one for the lead. Ryu already defending the inside very heavily against the two-time and reigning champion Yasko. Dean is in third with his teammate not so far behind in fourth. We do have a collision because Oscar's around. Oscar's off.
Yeah, I saw him flying at the back there.
I'm not sure what happened, but we'll say some sort of collision has happened, but Oscar's poor race form continues. He hasn't finished higher than third in quite a long time. It's been 3 races since that, but at the end of the first lap, Ryu Zappu leads the first lap of the new season. Yasko is in second with Dean in third position. Certainly a dramatic start, and we've got a lot of contenders for the victory here.
Yeah, and it's a 3-4 there for Chevrolet. Chevrolet is looking to be doing good business here. And if they can pull it off right, they are a team that is certainly able to pull a 1-2 here at their home race.
Definitely,
as there it's Charlie into the wall.
Yeah, Charlie
and he's missing
has
front wing and
minimal contact, and Litwish should pass him sooner or later.
Yeah,
Ryu's pulled out a little bit of a lead, but look at the amount of battery Yasko's left. DRS is of course enabled. That's one of the new regulations for the 2024 season. The DRS is enabled on lap 2 instead of 3, and Yasko is gaining. Probably won't be able to get past Ryu, but he's certainly putting pressure on, as Litwa does, as I expected, get past AFI.
Yeah, AFI is missing a front wing end plate, so
that's obviously not going to help him.
Yeah, that's not good.
The Ryu holding on. Yasko is waiting very patiently indeed, but the front 4 have broken away, and these front 4, potentially, if Pemex's drivers miss races, could be some of the big contenders for the championship.
Nikon has lost a lot there. I don't know what happened with him, but
look at the exit that Ryu's had. Yasko's had a massive moment, and now Yasko's under a bit of pressure from Dean and Bottas, as Bottas sets the fastest lap. The race lap record now has been absolutely shattered. It was a 1 minute 20.113. 114, sorry, it's now 1 minute 18.819 by the Season 2 champion Bottas, who set the pole lap record around here as well, or the former pole lap record.
well, that's something.
Of course, we've already shattered the real-life race lap record as well, so it's good to see the boys are quick as well. Small moment for Ryu coming out of turn 6, which will, of course, compromise his run. Yasko's had a great lap, though. He's gained a little bit of time back on Dean and Bottas. Here he comes as well on Ryu. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to get past. He's probably too far back, but he is really putting the pressure on the Mexican here.
Yeah, certainly is, and he has to. He's got a title to defend.
Absolutely, yeah.
It may not be visible in game, but
I have to say, though, Tim, it would be an unprecedented three-peat if he did win it. Small rear lockup, which will, of course, cause Dean to close up, and if Dean gets past, anything can happen here.
Yeah, but, of course, it's not visible in the game, but Yasko, of course, having that #1 car puts a lot of pressure on you, but he defended it last season, and maybe he can do so this season.
And you'd like to think he is probably the favourite for the title, but he is struggling to get past Ryu here. He gets very close too, and maybe this will be his best opportunity to get past, but he has had a poor exit. And now look how close Dean is. He's right on the back of the RUF Telecom F1 car. Dean sees a gap up the inside. He dives up through that gap. Small bit of contact made. Yasko's not going to see the place. Has the inside for turn 4. Small bit of contact made. More contact made. But Yasko just about holds on.
Yeah,
rough but clean. Tough but clean.
Yeah, exactly. It was some contact, but it was clean contact.
Yeah. Rubbing is racing, as they say over in the States, and now look how close Bottas is to his teammate. You'd like to think that, of course, Jeebus is probably asleep at the moment, as we have Nikon spun. Nikon's around, and that is very unlike him, of course. Yasko goes to the outside of Ryu, and Bottas tries to get past his teammate as well. Contact made between Ryu and Yasko now, as they go side by side coming down the straight into turn number 12. Yasko leads, Ryu tries to dive down the inside, and now the season 3 and 4 champion race. Now can he pull away?
That's a big question here, as he's passed now. It took him some time, but he got there eventually.
He got there in the end. Will he be able to make it 3 titles in a row? It'd certainly be unprecedented. It'd be the first time I've ever seen it anyway. But now, the 2 TRL rivals are second, I say the 3 TRL rivals, sorry, are second, third and fourth, as Ryu wants to immediately get back into the lead of the race. Yasko gave Dean a gap, and Ryu will get past before the corner. What will Yasko be able to do to hold on to it? Big rear lockup for Ryu, forces Yasko to the outside of the track. Brilliant move from Ryu, though, to get back into the race lead.
Certainly.
Razout's got past Sudsy Mom at 4P7, but already a brilliant 4-way fight at the front. Yasko's around! Huge contacts! Yasko in the wall! Dean survives! Bottas survives without much of a scratch. Yasko is falling down the field.
Horrendous day for IF Telecom.
Oh, wow. And I did not expect that after the start we had. But now it's TRL 1, 2 and 3. And the reigning champion down in 8th position. Certainly not the start he needed. We'll see if he's got much damage. That is a big shock to him.
That is a big shock, as Ryder is up, and then of course back into leads, and it's a 2-3 now there for Chevrolet. Just have to both get past one car and just deliver an amazing home race result. That would be. As at the back the cars are, everyone is behind Litwa there.
It'd be a nice gift to wake up to for Jeebus anyway.
Yeah, as there it is, it's Satsumama plus Rezout. But Rezout!
Oh, Razout's in the wall! Razout's just about in the wall. Yasko picks up an easy place. Now he looks to get past Sudsy Marmot in the Alpine Esports car. That's not a certified registered livery. He will get a warning for that, of course, in the regulations. But Yasko might be about to gain 3 places in the space of about a lap or 2. Given how quick he is, he should be able to make those places up, as AFY has gone into the grass in the bar of contact being made between those two. Here comes Yasko into 6th. Now going 3 wide, AFY covers the inside. Yasko forced to go the long way. Lit was being involved in it. What a battle! Contact made. Yasko to the inside. Contact made again, and he's in the wall. And his day goes from bad to worse. Oh dear. Oh word. And we've got a virtual safety car. The first of the season. Yasko did stop on the track there. Was that deliberate to get it out, maybe?
I doubt it. I mean,
Dean pits.
I mean, he doesn't gain from a virtual safety car.
No.
And, yeah, I mean, unless he makes a pit stop, but you could only gain from it when he pits. I mean, he's got thumping damage, but still, it looked to be like, just to be sure that there was no car coming up.
Well, Dean lit with Sudsy Marmot, Oscar and Yasko all go into the pits. Europol will double stack DRS enable. We are back underway in racing, and the front 2 out of a huge lead as Nikon has crashed on the front straight. I'm not sure what's going on with Nikon tonight, but he's in an absolute shocker.
Both REF Telecom cars just don't get there, do they?
Absolutely. Terrible start to their season. Yasko had the chance to really get up to 4th, but was too aggressive.
Yes,
and
right now,
down
it's
in 10th.
Emil's...
Yeah, look at Bottas! Bottas leads the race! And the Chevrolet leads in their home race. What a move.
Amazing move there.
Slipping and sliding there to get into the lead as well.
Yeah,
and there's nothing Ryu could do there.
The champion...
Raza gets into 3rd.
The champion of Abidico, of course.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We're already 2 seasons since we won a championship, but...
Yeah.
I mean, he's not won a champion, and that was with another team as well, but still...
AKK.
He did win 3 consecutive World Constructor Championships. So
yeah.
that says enough, I think.
Yeah, he certainly knows how to play the team game. But he certainly is probably, I'd say, the second fastest driver. Nikon's picked up a time penalty. His race goes from bad to worse. The two Europols have swapped positions. Oscar's now into 7th. Oscar nearly spins. And now he's picked up a 3-second time penalty too.
Yeah. The two teams really struggling there. It's Europol and RUF Telecom.
And I certainly didn't think that coming into the weekend because of how good, of course, RUF Telecom were in qualifying. Of course, Nikon didn't have the best performance. But it was certainly one of his best
In the
last
meantime,
few
it's
races.
Charlie all over the back of Razout.
Yeah, we'll see if he's able to make a move
Razout
there.
running in third there. That's just. I mean, he still has to pit, but.
Oh, Ryu's taking the lead. Ryu's up. He gets back into the lead of the race, getting past Bottas in the Chevrolet. So these two now trading positions. Ryu getting a second by the DRS cherry
And
as
there it is,
IFY.
it's-
AFY, I will add, with a broken front wing in place, gets into third position, runs very wide though. Nothing really Razout can do.
Yeah, but and AFY, he's in third now, of course, but he still has to pit. And the only car that hasn't pitted that's behind him is Razout, who we just overtook.
And Nikon.
Oh yeah, and Nikon. Nikon is so far down the order.
Nikon's a long way behind those. Don't really
Yeah, Nikon.
take a look at that. Position changes so far. Razout's up 6, but of course, as mentioned, he still has to pit. AFY's up 3, he still has to pit. Bottas up 3, potentially up 4 if he gets back into the lead of the race. 21 laps to go.
Let's see what can happen here.
Just a quick score update in the match in the European Championship. Still the Netherlands 0, France 0, 23 minutes to go plus added time in that one. Of course, Tim's hoping that the Netherlands get the job done there.
Yeah, but they're on.
Look at them.
Holding.
Yellow flag. Oh, not Nikon again.
Nikon again. Oh, Nikon.
This is his worst race in the league by far. He needs a safety car and he will pit as well. As Bottas gets back into the lead of the race. Nothing Ryu can do here. And of course, with that DRS zone... Oh, right, a big moment there coming out of the chicane. With that DRS detection point covering 2 zones, it's a massive advantage for Bottas or Ryu, whoever's fighting for the lead.
Certainly is.
Nikon, of course, pits. Nikon is getting very close to being lapped at this race. Ryu will have DRS. They come onto the front straight to start lap 10 of 29. And look at how defensive Bottas is going, covering the inside completely. He's going to let him pass for the DRS.
Interesting strategy.
Yeah. And he's not even going to get it, because Ryu gets it, because it was a double point. It was a double detection zone. No, I can see why he wants it, though. He probably wants 2 long straights. That makes sense, I suppose.
Yeah, there's 2 short straights and 2 long straights, so it's an easy choice.
Yeah. Big moment for Ryu there. Ryu's got a penalty there, and that kick of up there has cost him 3 seconds, and a big moment for Bottas.
As Dean has catched up to Razout and Charlie now.
Yeah, Dean's caught up really quickly in these last few laps. He might be going on to the end of the hards. Yasko set the fastest up of the race, 1 minute 18.5. Now Bottas has to get moving. He is in the net lead of the race. He's a while behind because of that mistake he made.
Yeah.
And if you notice, though, both drivers are really struggling with their rear tyres, both slipping and sliding quite a lot, as Bottas will look to the outside to try and get back into the lead of the race.
They'll be
Can't make the
pitting
move.
soon, probably.
Oh, big crash! Big crash, Dean and Razout. Razout is spinning and sliding. It stopped in the middle of the track. We might get a safety car because of this. We do. First safety car of the season. And I think Razout probably deliberately caused that because he didn't stop moving. He started moving after the safety car came out. Now that's interesting. And I just caught that. I just caught that as soon as they were making the move because Dean was so close. And Razout was going around. But crucially, the 2 main men at the front pit just in time. And Ryu will, of course, have served his 3-second time penalty.
And Nikon can use this.
Because he'll be able to unlap himself as well. Or he didn't get lapped, but he'll be able to unlap the safety car, that's for sure. Actually, no, Ryu's still got his penalty, sorry. Ryu's still got his penalty. Dean's into third, though. Dean's interesting enough, pit again. Yeah, Dean has to change his front wing, that makes sense.
In the meantime,
Oscar, though. Oscar into third.
Yeah, that's just... But Nikon can catch up again, so that's good for him.
Interestingly enough, Yasko pit, as the 2 Europols double stack. It's very chaotic in the pit lane. Yasko's going to be held up there by Litwa, I think. Yeah. But he's not held up too long anyway. So a dramatic start to the race, the first safety car of the season. What have you made of it so far, Tim?
Interesting.
Dramatic.
Dramatic as well, as Nikon is still on his way there to actually make a. Oh no, he already made the pit stop, but he's still on his way there to catch up to
Nikon
the
is flying, and Nikon makes the decision to stay out as well.
Yeah, but he
Also,
he
shout
already
out to
pitted recently.
shout out to Sudsy Marmot, who's made it up to 4th.
Yeah, that's
The
so
first safety car stint to the race.
But he's on a bit all the times, and I think Oscar will struggle here. He's on mediums, 4 laps mediums. I mean, Satsi as well, of course, on all their set of hard tires. That will also of course will help because they're even colder than the other tires. Well,
yeah, well, everyone's stopped at least once anyway so far.
Yeah, that's true.
Nikon now has to make up about 50 seconds to close up to the back of the, at least to Ryu, at least to the front. But there are 3 TRL rivals, now next-gen rivals, fighting for the victory here. And we will at least have another lap under safety car conditions drove around by Virtual Burn Mylander in the Aston Martin safety car. What a start to the season this would be for Pemex, though.
Certainly.
No drivers have retired yet, which I find very
And the Netherlands, by the way, did score a couple of minutes ago, but the far
yeah, it was ruled out. Yeah, ruled out. I just checked that. Genie Van Alden's come on for Xavi Simmons, so
that's
maybe
that's a weird substitution, especially against Van Alden. It's not good. Good, well, choices.
Not good anymore. Streets will never forget 2018, 19, and 2019 20 Genie Van Alden. I miss him. Anyway, Nikon's closing up to the back of the pack relatively quickly, and we should be able to get underway very soon. It might be a late call, should Nikon make the back of the field. But Ryu, going pretty slowly, allowing the safety car to get a bit of a gap. Will we be coming into the end of the lap? We haven't got the confirmation just yet. I'd say we should.
Surely we will.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
yep.
we go in. That's good.
It is indeed. So we will get our first safety car restart of the season. Dean and Razout mistakenly swap positions for a second, but Ryu will control the pace. Bottas in second, Oscar in third, Sudsy Marmot fourth, Season 1 champion AFI in 15th, sixth, Razout, Yasko, Litwa and Nikon to round out the field. A lot of drama to come in the next 17 laps. When will Ryu gun it? He builds the throttle, and he's going to wait as long as he possibly can. He's going to wait until the front straight. And now he guns the throttle, and we are underway in the Prix once again. It's a fantastic restart from Bottas. And look at Ryu already trying to break the toe. What will Bottas be able to do into turn 1? Has a small look to the inside, but will not be able to make the move. So Ryu will lead from the front after the restart. Has had a poor exit though, and Bottas might be able to capitalise. Once again, Ryu breaking the toe, and that is very over excessive weaving. Oscar dives down the inside, spins nearly. Massive rear lockup. Yasko gets past Razout. It's all happening here.
And Dean is making position there.
And so is AFY, so we've got a 4-way fight in our hands once again as Ryu leads from the front.
Yes,
like he did at the start of the race.
Past, and Litwa is both Razout.
Definitely, so we might have a 5-way fight in our hands in the next couple of laps here. That would be fun. Look how much Bottas is gaining on Ryu, and Ryu is depleting all of his ERS. Bottas is so comfortable being in second position, it's unreal. Nikon's made up a place in Razout. His recovery drive starts here and now. But on lap 13 of 29, Ryu's up as he has done for most of this race. The Grand Prix from Bottas in second and Oscar in third. Dean is fourth. Yasko trying to find a way past Season 1 champion AFY in fifth in the Abarth, which I have to say is a very nice car. Compliments to you, Tim. But a great getaway from Ryu as he's extended the lead to nearly a second as we head on to lap 14. DRS re-enabled.
Yes, Oscar is now really close to Bottas. Bottas not bothering to actually attack, it looks like.
Look at the run that Dean's got on Oscar though.
Yeah.
Switches to the inside, and that is a 10 already. Pulls it off. Can he hold it? No, he can't.
No, he locked the race a little bit. It looked
Yeah, he
like.
did, yeah. Would have been even more impressive if he pulled it off. A lot of people locking the rears now, but look how close the field is as Oscar's really starting to fall behind now. So Dean needs this move and he needs it quick. DRS enabled.
Certainly, as Jasko is all over, Dean is now.
Yeah, and Bottas leads now. So we'll see what happens now between AFY and Jasko. Jasko involved in a collision a few laps ago. Contact being made coming through the chicane. Will he back out of it? Yes, he will, and that's probably the logical decision from Jasko. He'll have another bite at it, though, on the grass. To the inside. Gets past. Here comes Sudsy. Marmon up the inside. Contact made. He's around.
Into
And
the gravel.
that's a very foolish move.
Yeah.
That's very foolish from him.
He
Bottas
only
leads.
got himself with it looks like. Oh, and Charlie's was in the gravel as well.
Yeah, that is very
Charlie
unfortunate
just
for
took
Charlie.
himself a couple of corners later into the gravel.
So what's Ryu able to do now? Because Ryu desperately needs to keep it within a second. Dean, of course, will not have DRS, which is big for him. But Oscar and Jasko will have DRS on him. So maybe they'll be able to work themselves up to the front again. Halfway through the Australian Grand Prix, though, the opening race of Season 5. Ryu just about still with Bottas. 5/10 between them. And of course, Ryu will have that double bite off the cherry coming down these two long straights. This one, of course, the longest on the track as they come past turn 9, named after Jim Clark. Lit was picked up a penalty, but here comes Ryu as we have the yellow flag because Nikon's around again.
Oh, no.
Ryu retakes the lead of the race as well. Bottas not fighting it.
And Nico has been struggling so
Really,
much.
yeah. Very unfortunate for him, though. Big moment for Ryu there coming into turn 12. He's really struggling with the front and the rear brakes so far. A lot of people struggling with both understeer and oversteer. And I suppose that's one of the big things on this game, that you're going to struggle with a lot of things. And you really have to be attentive of how you're driving the car. So Tim, we're halfway through. It's been a hell of a race so far.
It certainly has been. As Bottas
Certainly the best race of the season so far.
Exactly.
Let's not forget Ryu still has that 3-second time penalty as Nikon pits once again. Nikon needs another safety car. But where will that come from, if it comes at all? Let's not forget how close Jasko is to Oscar. Jasko might be able to make a move on his Europol rival in a few corners time. Let's not forget that Oscar also has DRS on Dean in 3rd position. Be able to see if he makes that move. Jasko getting very close to Tim as Bottas retakes the lead of the race. Jasko gets past Oscar too and gets very close to the back of the Chevrolet. Won't be able to get into 3rd position just yet. He's gaining though. Sees a gap, doesn't go for it. He'll wait. So will Oscar. But we've got a great battle on our hands at the front and for 3rd position. But Tim, you do think though, at the moment, if Jasko gets past Dean, then Jasko, regardless of whether he's got a penalty or not, will come to the front of the field. As here he comes to the outside, gets into 3rd, but even before the corner. Brilliant move.
Yeah, Jasko, even though his spin from earlier, he shows you why he's a title contender here. And I think just his teammate, I don't know what's up with his teammate, but his teammate just taking the team out of Constructor Championship contender.
Well, it's still 14 races to go, so I wouldn't say they're out of contention, yes, but,
Yeah, but
it's
like,
still been a very terrible start for RUF Telecom.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, one of the drivers has been coming back good, but the other one's just not. Simply.
Well, I mentioned earlier on that 16 wins have come from pole position. Ryu gets back into the lead. The lead is changing every lap at this stage because of the double DRS that both drivers have, and it's almost like that Spa race last season when, of course, Bottas fought Jasko for the win and came out on top when there was a big bit of psychological battle going on there. Jasko, crucially though, not gaining enough. He probably needs a safety car in order to close that gap. Of course, the current race leader would be Bottas, and of course Bottas did start 5th in the grid. 5th has only won this race one time, And guess who won that race? Thierry Boots back in Adelaide in 1989. That's 2.6% of the overall race winners in Australia. So Bottas will be joining a very slim list, I suppose. There has only been one winner from 11th. That was David Coulthard. We don't have 11 drivers on the grid, though. Unfortunately. Hopefully soon, though, Tim.
Yeah, we'll see.
AFY gets past Raz out for P7. Let's see if Bottas is able to get past Ryu on lap number 18. He has got a lot of his battery left. He's got DRS as well. Yellow flag by his round. And Bottas will get into the lead of the race, unsurprisingly. Nothing that Ryu can really do to fight it. As Dean gets past Yasko.
Interesting.
But it's currently a 1-3 for Chevrolet in their home race.
Yeah, I mean, Dean need to pick up the pace a bit more to make it a 1-2. I mean, it's because of Ryan's 3-second time penalty, of course.
Well, Chevrolet would still lead the constructors' standings if my maths are right, which they probably are, seeing as it's only the first race of the season. So it will be the perfect start of the season. 2 champion would lead the drivers' standings, and his team would lead the constructors' standings. And of course, after their were the unluckiest team. You said it yourself, Tim. I watched the Silverstone race back earlier on today, and you said that they were the unluckiest team in the field for some time. Now there's a real resurgence. Oscar's decided to pit. I'm not sure if Oscar's picked up damage or something.
I don't know.
But Oscar fell back.
Wasn't he like on mediums as well?
I think so, yeah.
Old
But he already
medium,
he
so-
started on the hards, did he not?
Yeah, I think he went on the old mediums, so he had to
AFI's
pit, like
got
I
a
said.
puncture. AFI's got a puncture.
Oh,
And has
AFI
lost his front wing.
Oh,
What's happened there?
I don't know, but he's back to his old ways. Seems like.
Great way to put it. Not so great for him. Ryu gets back into the lead of the race. All the overtakes happening at the front at the moment. Yasko getting very close to Dean. Still can't make the move. We will have 10 laps to go after this one. And we are currently heading towards our first 0-0 of the Euros as well.
Yeah, let's see. Both things. As Charlie opts for the softer compound, well, so I think he's expecting to pit another car again?
Potentially he wants the fastest lap, or he's banking on a safety car which will make him be able to save the tyres and get back onto the lead lap, because
Yeah,
of
but
course
almost-
he is going to get lapped pretty soon.
Yeah.
Look, poor Nikon though. A long, long way behind. I feel very sorry for him. Of course, Nikon had a fantastic end to last season. This is not the start that he or his side of the RUF Telecom garage wanted. Let's see though. Do you want to play some bet on Bottas getting past Ryu in the straight?
No, not really, because
He's heard that. He's heard that. He's
Yeah.
listening to us, and he's activated all. Ryu holding on. Yellow flag. Sudsy Marmot spun and has reset to track, so he'll be disqualified from the race. As Bottas leads the Grand Prix.
unsurprisingly.
Not surprisingly at all. The Sudsy Marmot will be disqualified from the race for resetting to track. So his next-gen debut ends with a big fat old DSQ next to his name. 9 laps to go though. Bottas leads from Ryu in second. It doesn't really matter what position Bottas is in at the moment. He wins the race as long as Ryu doesn't pull out 3 seconds on him. Dean is in third. Yasko is closely behind him in fourth. Litwa is doing very, very well. He's had a quick race, but he's doing very well from.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, and so does Reza. They're 5 and 6 for tier 2 drivers driving here as
Yeah.
reserve drivers.
They're representing their tier as well.
Yeah, they're putting their tier just on the map here.
Razout himself actually said about, damn, T1 is fast. So, you never know.
Exactly, and now he's just running in P6 there. That's just...
Yeah. It's a brilliant story, and I'm very happy for both Litwa and Razout to be doing so well, representing their tiers so well. Would you like to think Ryu's going to get past? Yeah, he does, and he gets very close to actually colliding with Bottas there on the back straight.
Yeah, this battle can go on for ages.
It has gone on for ages, and it'll probably go on to the end. Bottas with a huge slide coming out of the chicane near the end of the battle just by saying it to go on forever.
Yeah, that would not be great for him or his team.
No, absolutely not. It would be the terrible way. to end this race off.
Especially since Dean is not really in win contention anymore, is he?
No, definitely not. But he's doing well in his first race.
Yeah,
I have
he's
to say.
doing well.
And he's holding it, and he's reigning champion.
You can't say he's not doing well, but he's
Yeah.
not fighting for a win here.
It's not his standards. Dean's always told me whenever I speak to him in whatever league he's in that he is always disappointed with anything below first. So by that logic, he will be disappointed with third place tonight or wherever
it's
he
just
does
a
end up
Total
finishing.
Wolf mindset.
Yeah.
Although Total Wolf is a bit more extreme. He's basically just saying, "Okay, we got a 2-3 now, not good enough." But who won Max Verstappen? Like, you're gonna be them. Just celebrate your 2-3 there, to be honest.
Yeah.
But he doesn't because it's not good enough. But
Well,
then
will Bottas go past Ryu? Yeah, he
yeah,
will.
of course. Obviously.
Yeah, of course.
Basically that.
Ryu's actually very close though, coming down towards turn 12, and he's actually the closest he's been in a very long time. Will he dive to the inside? Yeah, Sutsumama pits. Oh, Bottas wide, and Ryu retakes the lead. Now that's unexpected, given what's happened in the last 10 or so laps.
Yeah, exactly. Jasko still can't find a way past Dean.
That's of course very interesting because Jasko is renowned for overtaking the. But of course he finished every race bar one last season that he contested on the podium, either in first, second or third. Nikon's picked up a penalty and so has AFY. I think that just flashed up before Nikon picked up a penalty. So the other track limits warnings are, so I'm just about to check how many Bottas has actually. I don't think he has any. He's got 2. So maybe this race actually becomes a fight for position very soon. So Bottas has 2 track limit warnings. So if anything bad happens and he's weaving his steering wheel, he's listening to us. He knows what we're talking about. If anything, look at him weaving again. Look at him weaving again. And again. Just please stop. He's not stopping. He ain't stopping. He's going to weave on the straight with DRS open. He's fly into a wall. But for the first time in about 10 laps, he hasn't taken the lead in this race. Maybe Ryu's about to pull the pin. You never know.
Yeah.
As if they're about to encounter the first lap car of the season in AFI.
Yeah.
Bottas wide and just keeps within track limits. Now this race gets interesting.
So if I made up a whole, made up 10 well, no, not really 10 seconds, but.
Oh, big kick of oversteer for Ryu there. Oh, Bottas is weaving once again. Look at him go. He's having a jolly old time knowing he's going to win the race as long as he stays within 3 seconds. Bottas said he wants that title back. I'm not surprised he wants the title back, of course. He was so cruelly denied in season 3, obviously losing the count back, and then of course had so many bad moments last season. Ran out of luck last season, really. As AFY lets the front 2 pass, and that's
You need
good
to
for him,
force yourself with into some luck as well. I mean, he ran out of luck, but luck is also something you have to force, basically.
You make for yourself, yeah.
Yeah. So and he just didn't have any last season.
Of course, he was behind Jasko. You'd say he's the second best driver in the league. But given his performance tonight, you'd like to think that he might be the favourite for the championship. Of course, there are so many contenders as Razout spun on. No, Razout's actually stopped on the track and might want to get another safety car out.
Nah, he's just trying to turn his.
Nah, he's got going now. He's got going again. But that is very unfortunate for Razout. Of course, Nikon is still a long, long way behind, but at least Nikon's getting respectable enough points for his team.
I mean, although he will be under pressure of Sutsumama soon. And
He
Sutsumama doesn't have a penalty, Nikon does. So, and Charlie again pitting.
I'm not sure what Charlie's trying to do.
I don't know, he was too far behind anyways, probably.
Another set of soft, so he is going for the fastest lap, but it's not really going well for him, as he has been lapped now by Litwa. So he's now lapped down from half the field, which is interesting.
Yeah.
5 minutes of added time in the Netherlands-France game, still 0-0. Sudsi Marmot's got past Nikon, so I said Nikon was getting well-respected points. He's not really getting any of them now, he's only 2.
Yeah. Jasko all the way down in 4th, not on the podium either.
Now, of course, Yasko's only time he wasn't on the podium last season was Vegas, when he ended up winning the title anyway. But that was down to a lot of bad luck.
Yeah,
Safety car restart when he was sort of pushed into the
time
wall.
just,
But this is off his own making, I have to say.
Yeah, he just got outclassed.
That incident was his own fault. He could have won this race. He probably should be winning this race at the moment. But that's the way the cookie crumbles in Next Gen by JL. 4 laps to go. Bottas is happy to cede second place on track, knowing that he will win the race. Will he do a little wee for us in the straight? Yes, he will.
Of course he does.
He's a man of the people. He's a Finn of the people.
That is...
Look at him go. He's a happy chap.
I'm not surprised, to be honest.
Someone should report him for excessive weaving and you get a 5-second time penalty and penalty points.
And then, I mean, to be
That'd
honest,
be a hell of a way to lose.
I do see
He's doing the angry weaves. He's angry steering wheel. He's going very frantically on the wheel.
I do see that, to be honest, happen that the team is actually gonna try that. If I'm gonna be
Yeah, right. Yeah, Pemex are gonna try that. Yeah, because I know Ryu's listening to us as well. So
yeah. And I mean, if I were Pemex, I would have done the same, and so will probably everyone.
Game is game. Game is game.
Exactly.
I have to say, solid 8 out of 10 race though. Very enjoyable.
Certainly.
Coming into the last few laps now, 3 to go. Ryu needs to pull out 2.3 seconds to win this one. If he gets out of DRS, then he might be able to. I don't know. Fight out of the last corner. Now Ryu's weaving. What the hell is going on?
As well. I don't know. They're just some mad guys.
I mean, we can let them get away with this. They are obviously going to finish P1 and 2. It doesn't really matter what happens now, as long as they don't take each other out.
I do see that also happen, to be honest. Don't you?
You could. You don't know, though. Oh, well, would you look at that? Charlie ends up setting the fastest lap after a very unsuccessful first attempt at trying it.
It took him some time, but he got there in the
It
end.
did, yeah. Well, he will get the 1 extra point for the fastest lap. The fastest lap was with, Bottas. Yeah, Bottas has only been placed by a 10th. So imagine if Bottas wins the softs, he might be able to get into the 1 minute 16s. The race lap record around this track, I just want to find it, is a 1 minute 19.813 in this training set by Charles Leclerc. The race lap record, 1 minute 20.114. That's now been sent to the stratosphere, it's fair to say. Nikon pits. Nikon's probably going for fastest lap now. And he's got enough space to stay, and he will go into the softs, so Nikon's going to aim for the fastest lap. But he will get lapped in the process. The 2 laps to go.
Yeah, to penultimate lap we are. And it looks to be going Bottas' away.
Still anything could change though. It's been a very respectable performance for Chevrolet. Of course, they won the Constructors' Championship last season, and they've got a very nice livery this season. It is a very, very attractive car. The Pemex looks like a pizza, as Tim has previously said.
The Pemex.
But here we go, heading into the last 1.5 laps.
Yeah.
Will Bottas be able to get the move done on track?
And well, maybe Jasko. I mean, there's no point in for Jasko to take the risk of an overtake anyway, because he'll lose it on his penalty.
Yeah.
So I think that's why he's not taking too much risk.
Just in terms of penalties, everyone except Nikon is on 3 seconds. Nikon's on 6 seconds as Litwa's into the gravel. Litwa's got a puncture. Litwa's got a puncture.
Oh, and that.
And that could be very dangerous for Ryu and Bottas because they're on the same lap old tires.
I mean,
So with 1 lap to go, we might have punctures playing into our hands on the final lap. White flag in Australia. Bottas will try and get past Ryu. They are backing out though. They have heard this news. Definitely for me saying this. Sudsy Marmot's got a penalty. But now,
and Litwa's in the gravel
tire
now.
failures. Litwa's in the gravel, yeah. Litwa's stopped on track. Litwa can't move. So Litwa's out of the race. Or no, he's in the race still. So the front 2 know. The front two know the tyre failures are going to be big in this one now.
The front
Litwa
three,
has
to be honest. Actually, Jasko has got the biggest risk of them all then.
Yeah.
The only reason I think, but I'm not too sure, it could have been, of course, that he went into the
wall
hit the
and
wall.
got tyre damage, but apart from that...
If he hit a wall, that would explain it more than actual puncture of... Especially since Jasko is still in the race, and Jasko was on mediums and not hards, so I doubt it was a puncture due to tire damage.
Well, it has finished 0-0 in the Netherlands-France game, but a Finn is going to come out on top here in Australia. Ryu graciously letting him pass. It doesn't look like they're going to encounter Litwa, but it has been a fantastic drive from the Season 2 champion, who is going to start Season 5 in the best way possible. He's been denied the championship in the last 2 seasons, but it's going to be victory in Australia in his team's home race as Bottas wins the Australian Grand Prix. Ryu comes home in second. Dean in third in his first race for Chevrolet. It's a Chevrolet 1-3 in their team owner's home race, and in his team's home race, Jasko finishes fourth. Oscar will finish in fifth, it looks like, unless something drastic happens. Razak will be sixth. But Bottas starting off this season as Oscar spins.
Oh, Oscar.
Oscar's gone way off.
And
actually has been passed by AFY. Nikon didn't get the fastest lap. Nikon didn't get the fastest lap, interestingly enough. So AFY gets the point. The pole point, of course, went to Ryu. So, after the first race of the season, yeah, Razak coming up to the line. And congratulations to Razak as he's gone right into the back of Oscar.
And that's Simon, but what a race this has been.
Absolutely, yeah. Hell of a race. Great start to the season, Tim, I have to say, in both tiers.
Certainly has been.
Razak gets driver of the day as well. Of course, that's the game's driver of the day vote. We'll have the fan driver of the vote set up in a few moments' time. But here's the podium. The Finn waving his flag on top of the podium in his team's home race. A scrum-diddly-umptious win for Valtteri Bottas, securing his first win of what could be many in the 5th season of this league. 14 rounds to go, but after the first round of the championship, here is your running order. Bottas won it after 40 minutes, 17 seconds, 0.3 of a second, which is the fastest 50% race we've had around here. He wins the Australian Grand Prix from 5th on the grid. I mentioned only one driver won the race from 5th in the entirety of the Australian Grand Prix history. He becomes the first in next-gen history. Ryu finishes in second after getting his penalty. He could have won that race. It was a great drive from him in the Pemex. Dean in third, Jasko fourth. Jasko with first non-podium finish in quite a long time, you'd like to think. Of course, that was off his own doing. Oscar in 5th, Razak at 6th, Sudsy Marmot in 7th. He will be disqualified, though, due to resetting to track. Nikon finishing in 8th, Litwa 9th, and AFY rounding out the field in 10th position with the fastest lap. 3 drivers were lapped. The field separated by 56 seconds if you finish on the lead lap. But Tim, great start to the season. What a race.
What a race, what a start of the season. I loved it.
Absolutely, and both races were absolutely fantastic as well, you'd like to think. Well, that was a lot of fun. Certainly enjoyed that. 14 races to go as well. Not 8 more, because of the absurdly short calendar we had last season due to the imminent arrival of this very game. But that was fun. That was really fun. Tim, I don't suppose that you could try and get people to talk. Or like, give them a role or whatever.
Doubt that's a possibility. I can check it, but got me doubts about it. Let's see, do we have someone who wants to talk? They do have to rejoin it. It's quite difficult in this channel, to be honest. So I think we'll just settle with a good night.
We'll see anyway, we'll hopefully get a few people. T2. T1, even funner race, even better race, with an absolutely brilliant battle between Bottas and Ryu for the Grand Prix victory. Bottas leads the championship in the very early stages, of course. And next week is, of course, the Chinese Grand Prix taking place at the Shanghai International Circuit. 14 races to go. Still a very, very, very long way to go in this championship fight. But at the end of the first round, Bottas wants to win this championship, and he has certainly started off in the best way possible. Tim, remember to play the end credit music. See you same time next week, of course, for T2, and of course, same time next weekend for T1 to play you out. Here's the outro music. Thanks very much for watching, and we will see you next Friday night. Good night to you all.